And what's up, African family? My name is Sister Aset Ma'at. Thank you so much for joining me today on Aset Single Black Mother. It is always a pleasure to share the wealth of wisdom that our ancestors have left us. So, dua to our ancestors for their presence. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about overcoming the fear of success. Now, when I thought about success in my life many years ago, it was oftentimes different from people around me. And that's what success is. It's normally different for each individual, right? Uh, and I had this image in my mind about what success was for me and my children and my life and my community in a sense. But for some reason, it was hard for me to accept my own vision because I was harnessing the visions and the ideas of many other people. Um, so this brings me to the story about Aset. Aset is a very powerful woman. She is the primordial mother. She is the mother that is deep within the wombs of every single black woman and mother on the planet, be it with physical child or with the spiritual child. Every black woman has this power deep within her, and her job, she knew her mission was to be a successful, beautiful uh, mother to a son who would eventually rule the land of Kemet. And her desire to complete the Holy Trinity was to simply give birth to a male child, a son, that would inherit the powers and the energies of both of the father and of her from the nurturing aspect. It would take her as the nurturer and the mother and the healer and the woman of libraries and wisdom to give this information to her son so that he could grow up and fight the obstacles and inherit the land, or or rule the kingdom. And so over the course of many years, Aset had to fight many challenging obstacles. She had to overcome lots of things that were happening, evil forces that were coming from the brother, Sitesh, which was her husband's murderer, who murdered her husband into 14 pieces. And she had to find ways to turn her obstacles into opportunities. So before she was even able to get pregnant and conceive and have her son Hiru, she had to become pregnant. Her husband died before she could even have a physically get pregnant by him. So it was her duty, and as hard as it was, I can only imagine how hard it was for Aset to go back and pick up the pieces of her husband physically. His body was dismembered, and put his body together 13 pieces with the exception of one piece that she could not find, which was the sexual organ. And when she did this, can you just imagine how she felt? She probably was exhausted. She probably was sad, feeling all of the emotions that you feel when you think about overcoming a major obstacle in life. What do you do? Where do you turn? What do you do? And so it was with the help of her sister Nebet Het that helped her put the pieces of the body and heal the body, and she rejuvenated the body pieces, and she put oils on them, and she put the pieces back together, and she created what we call the first Sahu, which was the first mummy, but it's really the first Sahu. And it was at that point that the spirit was revived of Asar, and he came back and spent one night with her, and the spiritual conception of Haru, the son, was then planted in her, and then she was able to 9 months later give birth to her son, which was her ultimate dream come true. Now, despite the fact that she had to fight overcome several obstacles and go through many different challenges in order to simply conceive and birth the son of her son Heru. It was very difficult for her. And just like I said, and just like you, and just like me, who have obstacles in our lives as single mothers, because Aset was a single black mother. She did not have the physical father. Asar was not physically present in Heru's life. It was the mother who nurtured her children and gave them the wisdom. Now, by no means am I promoting saying that black mothers, single black mothers, are just supposed to be single black mothers, because she was married. She did have a physical counterpart. She did have her counterpart there, but she still had the power as a woman to give light and to bring a hero into the world. So a lot of times, as single black women, we might think that, okay, life is just extremely hard because you got to do it all by yourself. But it was the spiritual essence that gave her the strength to do everything that she needed to do. Because if she did not have the spiritual essence of Asar, or the spiritual essence even of Ra, the living son, then she would not have been able to overcome these major obstacles. So there's three major things that I would say that at least the single black mother needs to really take into consideration when she's trying to strive and work towards her dreams and trying to really make success a reality for her. And the first thing I want to say is really digging deep into your culture, knowing where you come from. Because when you know where you come from, you know who you are. And nothing or no one can take those things away from you. That's something that you hold deep inside of yourself. So no matter what paradigms have been imposed upon you, no matter what thoughts or anything else, when you know where you come from and you learn who you really are and you can sit with that and you can own that, then it gives you the ability to grow wings and to become who you are meant to be, and to be able to take care of your children and do everything you need to do as a single black mother. The second thing that I would say is Ma'at, which is balance. Ma'at is the nature who represents balance, peace, reciprocity, harmony, truth. And she's symbolized by the ostrich feather. She wears the ostrich feather on top of her head. And really, it helps you to get to know yourself. Reciting the 42 principles, reciting the 42 oracles of Ma'at, just helps you to declare your sanity, keep your sanity, understand who you are. So twice a day, in the morning and at night, just reciting the 42 principles of Ma'at helps you to find yourself. The third thing I would say is Aset, praying to the primordial mother, knowing who the primordial mother is, calling her up within your life during challenges, and even during those times where you don't know what to do or how you should handle situations, even with your children. Just calling on Aset and bringing her to life and embodying her principles will really help you to reach the level of success that you want to reach. Don't forget that your success is going to look totally different from anybody else's. So I hope that this message has inspired you. I hope that Aset herself has inspired you, because that is the mission, to become Aset, to become an asset to yourself first, then to your family, then to your community. And really learning how to hone those powers of Aset, excavate them from deep within yourself, and then using that to benefit and to create success within your life. So please stay tuned for the next video, and please leave your comments below, and I will be more than happy to reply. Thank you so much for joining me today on Aset Single Black Mother, and see you next time. Dua.